Guys, it's a no-brainer. Jimin and Jaehyun were obviously going to pair up for the Christmas date, right? Just look at that clear, gorgeous smile that feels like it's meant only for Jaehyun, lol. But why do I still feel like there's something a little off about that smile? Well, this is the first time I'll be seriously nervous while making a video, hahaha. This was meant to be a 3 minutes video, but what I discovered while doing this analysis for episode 14 trailer of Heart Pairing shook me up a bit, and once again, I hope these first set of theories of mine for the Christmas dates will be false. Fingers crossed, guys. Let me walk you through what I discovered. In episode 13, the members were told to write down the names of the people they wanted to spend Christmas Eve and Christmas Day with. We were shown the women's choices, but not the men's. That already raises a flag. My guess is that the Christmas Eve pairings were decided based on the women's choices, first come, first served. So, logically, Christmas Day might be based on the men's first come, first served. Let's break down the women's choices again, based on the texting order. Chaeyoon texted first. She chose Chanhyung and SangYoon, and she spent Christmas Eve with Chanhyung. In episode 14, she'll be with her second pick, SangYoon. That probably means SangYoon also picked her as one of his choices. Suah was next. She picked Jimin and Changhwan, and had her Christmas Eve date with Jimin. That means her Christmas Day date is with Changhwan, suggesting Changhwan picked her too. Jaehyun was third. She chose Jimin and SangYoon. Since Suah beat her to Jimin, she ended up with SangYoon for Christmas Eve. Naturally, you'd think she'd be with Jimin for Christmas Day, right? Not necessarily. I'll explain in a bit. Hanol picked Jimin and Chanhyung, but unfortunately, both guys were already claimed by faster texters. If Christmas Day was based solely on the women's picks, then she should end up with Chanhyung, right? But hold on. Ji-won was the last to text. She chose Woo-jae and Chanhyung. She already dated Woo-jae for Christmas Eve, so going by women's picks, if Hanol were to pair with Chanhyung, then what happens to Ji-won's Christmas date? Also, what if Chanhyung didn't choose Hanol? If he picked Ji-won instead, then his choice overrides Hanol's, which would leave Hanol without either of her picks again. But here's the kicker, if Hanol ends up with Chanhyung, that would mean Ji-won would have to pair with Woo-jae again, something I don't think production will allow. This is the main reason I believe the Christmas Day dates will be based on the men's choices, first come, first served. And guess who sent his text last? Yep, Jimin. So if Chanhyung wrote down Ji-won or Jaehyun, he'll be paired with one of them. Which leaves Jimin to default to whoever is left. And that person might be Hanol. If we go by these clues and what we've seen so far, in this first theory, these are the pairings that seem most likely. Chaeyoon with SangYoon. Suah with Changhwan. Jaehyun with Woo-jae. Ji-won with Chanhyung and Hanol with Jimin. It seems Hanol might end up with Jimin by default since Jimin texted last, and anyone who picked Jaehyun before him, besides SangYoon, who she already dated, would get her. I know, it's a stretch. And I really hope I'm wrong. Because something about Jimin's smile felt off. He smiled, sure, but it looked like surface-level politeness, like someone trying to stay pleasant in a situation where he has mixed emotions or unsure. It just looked like a polite smile, not an excited one. Now, this is where I'll need you guys to scatter this analysis of mine in the comments so I can sleep well tonight because my blood is boiling if this is true, lol. That said, I do have a counter-argument, that actually, Ji-won might pair with Chanhyung, Hanol pairs with Woo-jae again while Jaehyun pairs with Jimin, since Jaehyun chose Jimin first before Hanol, and this is assuming the men's first come first served wasn't considered. Now about Jimin's smile. Maybe he was just tired, too happy, or just too speechless that he finally got to pair with Jaehyun that made his smile very subtle. Or maybe it's related to the teaser scene that showed us a bit of a tense moment between him and Jaehyun. In the clip, he tells her, if there's anything I'm misunderstanding, I hope you'll correct it as soon as possible," and she just clasped her hands over her mouth and nose, looking stunned. What could have led to that? The only reason I can think of that could have caused a misunderstanding is if Jimin had gotten updates about Jaehyun's confessions or confusion about SangYoon. Jimin has said it a few times that Jaehyun already expressed her feelings to him, so if he heard from the members that Jaehyun was at any point confused over SangYoon, that might be a reason to ask her that question. Also, during his date with Suah, he asked her if she knew who the women were attracted to, and it seems Suah told him about Jaehyun's question, because we got a flashback. Jaehyun asked her roommates, "Is there really any difference between SangYoon and Jimin?" Suah, who just entered the house a few days ago, answered like a true house boss and said, "They are complete opposites. Jimin is a one-woman man. He and Changhwan are loyal." That's when Jaehyun nodded like she just had an epiphany, and I was howling. "Sis, you're just now realizing this." I'm laughing my pants off. This is wild for real, because that question was totally rhetorical. I feel sis already knew the answer, she just needed backup. Anyway, if Jimin got that info from Suah, it makes sense that he'd feel hurt or confused. He might feel like there truly is a misunderstanding and that Jaehyun's feelings for SangYoon might be bigger than he thought. Which might explain why he brought it up with Jaehyun, and why his smile under the Christmas tree didn't feel like it was meant for her. Maybe the smile was mild because of their misunderstanding. Or maybe I'm just reading too much into it, and his excitement may have been bigger than what was shown. It could just be that the editors are playing with our feelings and trying to trick us again. Still, I'm holding out hope that Jimin and Jaehyun do get a heart-fluttering Christmas date. And let's not forget the soundbite, "It's always been you." I'm betting Jimin says that to Jaehyun during their Christmas date, manifesting it, ha ha ha. Now, about SangYoon and Chaeyoon, what was going on there? They looked genuinely happy to see each other. I know Hanul encouraged SangYoon to open his heart to others in episode 12, after she had that talk with Chaeyoon, where Chaeyoon confided in her that she was curious about SangYoon, so maybe SangYoon already suspected Chaeyoon was interested in him. Maybe that's why he wrote her name. And honestly, the way he looked at her in that clip. Guys, I almost fainted. It's going to be some serious chemistry explosion during their date in the next episode. Later in the trailer, we hear the announcement about the 2-day cohabitation date. The matched couples will live together. And y'all, SangYoon ran into what seemed to be Woojae's room and knocked on it laughing my ass off. In the voiceover, we hear him say, "I think I would have regretted it later if I had been indecisive," and knocks on the door without hesitation to seize the last chance, and he also announces, "I was going to pick you." Like, what is happening? Was he asking Woojae or Chanhyung out? Just kidding, but seriously, we didn't see him knocking on Jaehyun's door. So now I'm wondering, what if SangYoon actually invites Chaeyoon to cohabitate? What if the plot twist is SangYoon and Chaeyoon falling for each other in these last minutes on the show? Because we also hear them telling each other during their date, "We fit together so well, so much fun, it's amazing." So if SangYoon truly starts falling for her, why is Jaehyun so confused in the teaser? We see her saying to Ji-won that she is having a mental breakdown, saying, "I'm so confused, what should I do?" Is she stressed about what lingerie and makeup she's packing for a staycation with Jimin? Because I do believe Jaehyun and Jimin will end up living together, no matter what happens on Christmas Day. I won't even worry about the scene where Jimin looked gloomy, with his hoodie over his head. I'm just gonna assume that happened before the cohabitation announcements were made. Anyway, what are your theories for episode 14? Drop them in the comments. Let's talk. Thanks for watching, please subscribe and like the video.